I need to adjust.
Okay, Survivor fans, welcome to our Slugfest this week for episode 8 of Survivor Edge of Extinction. I'm Marcus James Dixon, and I'm here with Susan Wloszczyna. Susan, that was quite an epic blindside, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it even outdid Joe's little swipe. And did you see the blood in his eye when he was looking at the camera? He is so pissed. And he had a little tear. It wasn't even falling in his eye again.
I'd be mad too if my closest allies turned on me like that.
Well, that's why he's been on Survivor before. He should know better. So
I was very surprised that this comma 7 that 4 of them turned. It was Victoria, Julia, Gavin, and Aurora turned on poor Eric. And they joined up with Kelly, David, Lauren, and War Dog. And the one guy, poor Rick Devens, he could have finally been in the majority if he had stuck with his best friend David. But no, he had to once again, be part of the minority vote.
Well, that was so mean the way he tried to, he goes, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Not. And you're like, ooh, you're getting a little smug there. You better rethink a bit, right? Because
on Survivor, if you get voted out or voted against someone week 1, you could become their best friend week 2. The fact that he wasn't even willing to listen, it irritated me.
What is War Dog? I mean, I felt bad that he rejected him, but it didn't work to his advantage, Devens. But War Dog isn't very good at anything, is he? I don't know. He fell off. Wasn't he first to fall off the?
Probably, yeah. He's not good at throwing. He's not good at balancing. He is good at convincing, people on the opposite side to join him.
Yeah. But and now I'm all confused. All the various changes. I didn't watch through the voting. If they showed the votes, I don't know.
They did, yes.
Yeah.
So of the 12 people, the 8 voted out Eric, and then you had, the other 4 votes were Rick and I don't have it in front of me, but Rick, Julie, Ron, and Eric. Those 4 split between Lauren and Kelly. And were you wondering why is Lauren not using their idols? They must have known.
No, they knew. You look at their faces, they were not upset. They were going, okay, we knew this was going to happen, and then the rest of it was Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the half idol drama between Devens and?
I think somebody's going to get hurt physically to get the other half and run to Jeff at some tribal council. So, okay. Let's just say my girl Aubry did well in her doing something right for a change and not falling for. There were steps in the clue. Let's go to the steps. Yeah. And I like that she gave it to Aurora.
Right.
Because, I mean, that is her buddy, and she probably knows who gave it to her because I don't think the other 3 would.
Right. Aurora said, thank you, Joe or Aubrey. She doesn't know which of the 2, but she knows, basically the same person.
Yeah. So we'll see what Aubrey does now.
Did you wonder for a second if Aubrey would give the vote to Devens? Because remember, Devens found a vote on Exile Island or Extinction Island, and he gave it to Aubrey, and then she was voted out that same night.
But she may have not known because she, was busy doing other things. I don't know if they ever showed them talking about it. So there were so many people merging and becoming one again. It was hard to talk to everyone, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about the big drama at the immunity challenge with Lauren fainting?
It wasn't. I mean, I wish he would have just said, people, if you don't want me to faint on the show, give me food. Could someone have spared the little Chinese noodle or something for her? I don't know. No, I mean, who's really thin is David Wright. His legs are like little twigs. I felt bad for him. They're not eating those people.
They keep
and the chickens, I think, have totally left the area. So they're not eating those.
Well, you know, Wendy quit the game, so maybe she was allowed to take the chickens with her. Her and Keith, or they have pet chickens now.
Only she packed it in her whatever little swag bag or whatever they carry. But I'm getting sick of seeing people look at the torch and just go, hell, I'm going. You know, it's like the same thing over and over again. They have all this bravado until they get to the beach and they go, what? We're going to sit here until somebody realizes there's a bunch of wine bottles with no wine in it and it has this stupid clue. What?
What did you think of the moment where Aurora was standing on the balance beam and she started pleading to Victoria to step down, but little Julie sitting there on the bench thought that was just the worst thing to do in the world?
Because someone had fainted and was in distress? Nah. I said go for it.
I thought, like, this is Survivor. She's within striking distance of winning a challenge. Don't give up. You know, don't wait because someone's fainted. I mean, Lauren is not dead on the ground. She just fainted. She'll be fine.
Right. But no, it's sort of like Christian talking, I mean, for 5.5 hours. This was only, you know, maybe 3 times she said, you know, well, you know, I deserve it. I deserve it. You know, if you want my loyalty, drop out and let me have the immunity. And, you know, so I think she kind of made her kind of uneasy and that made her, you know, just drop out anyway. I thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not judging Aurora. I mean, she had balls to do that. Good for her.
What about the puppet master, Ron? First of all, in episode 1, Ron found this secret idol advantage that it's like a menu. He got to choose one of 3 things. He has to use it within 3 tribal councils. He's been 2. So next week is his 3rd tribal council. But they haven't mentioned this thing since the very episode.
Yeah. No, these idols are just kind of hanging around, not doing anything. There's so many of them.
Although, did you see the trailer for next week? It looks like something's going down. The jury members are all sitting there like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they all have those big eye, you know, cartoon eyes.
Right.
You know? This has never happened in the world.
Yeah, that's so dramatic. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's so far this is picking up. I mean, Extinction Island isn't quite what I thought it would be. It's a lot of, you know, waiting around and whatever. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. I wonder when the next Extinction Island challenge will be.
Well, what would you think? What would make sense?
Probably not next week, but maybe the week after.
So how many people are left on the real island?
On the real island, there's 11 left. And there is, let's see, Joe was the 4th Extinction Island / jury member. So now Eric's the 5th. So I'm guessing when there's 6, maybe they'll do another challenge.
Yeah.
The first time.
That makes sense. Yeah. Go Aubry. That's all I'm going to say.
Go Aubry. Go Joe.
Joe's disappointing me this year. He just was stupid. Now, nobody's looking for idols anymore.
Right.
I mean, they all have one, apparently, it seems.
There's a lot of idols.
Yeah. So I don't know if they know there aren't anymore. I don't know why.
Right. And there also was no advantage at the merge feast. I know we talked about this last week, but
yeah,
there always is. It makes me wonder. There must have been one there, but no one found it, so they just didn't bother showing us anything.
Maybe the puppet master told them, "Don't look for anything.
Don't look for anything. Just relax till your family members come. That's all. That's what it's about. That's what Survivor's about. Is family."
You know? No. Nobody fell for that. That was like, I've never heard anyone say, well, I just want to stay as long as you would see your family soon if you didn't try harder, right?
So let's talk about what we think will happen next week. Do you think the puppet master Ron will be voted out next? Because all of a sudden he's in the minority.
Right. I don't know, because this worked this week. I don't know if the same thing, I mean, I don't think this was forever. I think they did it because it made sense at this point to the majority. And why listen to him, all the time? And I think that someone, and I think it was Julia, kind of made it clear what she thought was going to happen. I think she got through to people, and she's smart. She's a medical student. I mean, she wasn't talking about medicine, I assume, but.
Well, I'm going to assume that Ron's menu will come into play next week. So I'm assuming he's going to use it for an idol, so he'll be safe. So I'm gonna make my prediction and say Julie is going home, because she was the only, she did not vote for Eric tonight, so that puts her in.
Yeah. Does Aurora have an idol beyond that thing that Aubry gave her?
I don't remember. I don't
think so.
I don't think she does. She could though. People write in the comments whether she does or not, and we'll read those comments. There's too many idols, as Susan just said.
Yeah. No, and they're all going to go to waste at some point. They get to Temptation Island because they go away there. You can't use them.
You call it Temptation Island. I love it.
Oh, it was wishful thinking. That's a whole different show.
Joe has a girlfriend, Sierra.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, but yeah, this was a good one. I just don't know where it goes now. It's very up in the air.
I love it, because if it had just been the 7 comma, eliminating these people week after week, it would have been very boring. So now we're getting into some exciting stuff.
I feel, unlike last season, where people actually seem to be friends despite having to, use strategy and stuff against other people. It was a much more friendly crew of people. Like, there were like tons of alliances. They all got names, and they could be made into a trilogy of movies or something. but these people really are out for themselves in a bigger way than most seasons, I think. And they're very smart. They have all these strategies that, kind of conflict with one another, but they do think about what they should be doing. And I think maybe the fact that there are returnees is helping as well, because they know stuff,
Right, like the scene with Kelly and David, where she's like, "Look, I'm sorry I voted you out, but we need to work together now."
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where Rick's inexperience is showing, Rick Devens, because he did not want to do that, and now he's on the end.
No. Each time with tribal stuff, it's a different scenario, and you got to do what you got to do, but that doesn't mean you can't ally with someone again or reject them.
Cool. Well, any final thoughts on this one, or looking ahead to next week?
I don't know. I think I forgot to watch preview. I've taken care of my dog. My husband's out of town. That's my excuse. He was hungry. So.
Well, I loved this one. I can't wait for next week.
No, this season is really good. I think it started off slow because that Temptation Island took a long time to percolate into something, interesting. But what do you think is going to happen to Joe? Because he just looks so miserable. I think he's lost his will to live, at least on that island. So
and the worst thing for Joe would have been like to have someone like Eric voted out, because he's also a powerful, strong guy. So you have now Joe, Eric, and who was the other one that was voted out weeks ago? Chris. So you got the 3 muscle guys on the Extinction Island, and then you have little Aubry and little Reem. But Aubry won the practice advantage, so I guess my money's going to be on her to win this next challenge, whenever it may be, in 2 or 3 weeks. I think
it looked like a lot of like a maypole or something. I don't know what she was doing.
it looks like you're going to be tied up in this practice challenge or this practice advantage that she found is like
Yeah.
she gets to experience what it's like to go around and try to untie yourself around this pole.
Yeah. I don't know how much practice will help with that once you do it under the pressure of everybody else doing it. But God bless her. I like her. I really wish she could go all the way. Really.
She still has a shot.
I know. I know.
Well, thanks to everybody for watching, and go make your predictions right now at goldderby.com.